Hi and welcome again. So it's now official, day number 10 is now released on TryHackMe about advent of cyber. It's gonna be offensive is the best defense. So the story goes, McSkitty is trying to discover how the attackers managed to penetrate the network and cause damage to the best festival company's infrastructure. She decided to start doing a security assessment of her system to discover how the Grinch enterprises managed to cause this damage. She started by conducting a security assessment of her system to discover how Grinch enterprises managed to cause this damage and wonders what service they exploited. Before McSkitty starts firing up Nmap, let's review some keywords related to her task. So, if you're familiar with the terms IP address, protocol, server, and port number, feel free to skip the following 3 sections and start directly with the Nmap section. Alright, so I highly suggest that if you are new to these terms like IP address, protocol, server, and port number, I highly suggest that you read these sections and pause the video and come back to the video whenever you are done understanding. Also, there is another tutorial they recommend from TryHackMe that you do visit this module called Network Fundamentals. However, it is not necessary to complete this room. So what I'm gonna do is just scroll down to the actual task of hand. So it says help McSkitty to run this Nmap scan. How many ports are open between 1 and 100? So let's go to the terminal. And first of all, let's just type Nmap, not NAMP. Let's try again, Nmap. And they task to use the flag called ST. So let's go and look about the ST to discover what this is all about. So ST, we're just scrolling up, it's a really good way of learning, and we are coming to it. It seems SN, SI, SS, P. So it seems that it's really difficult to find ST. So let's go ahead and say Nmap grab ST, and it should give us all the different lines with the flag called ST. So let's see if we can find it. It would seem that even my eyes cannot discover the flag called ST. So if this is the problem you have, you can go back to the tutorial and read all about what ST, this is TCP connect scan. So basically there are different ways. Sometimes when you use the Linux commands, like let's say Nmap, just write that. It is very often just outputting all the different kind of options. So couldn't we just say grab an ST like that? I mean, sorry, in quotations. And it seems that there is nothing like that, maybe just ST. So there we go. It kind of was inside a, what you can say, an array of commands that all is the same in various ways. It's a TCP connect scan. So ST is mentioned, so we're going to look for the SS instead and just follow the eyes. And this is somewhat difficult sometimes if you're new to using Linux commands. It's a lot of scrolling and going back and forth, and I totally get that. So this is where it is. ST is a TCP connect scan. When you are doing a Nmap command like this, ST, and then you do a full TCP connect scan, it basically means that you are opening real bulletproof connections to the server. So it's making the most amount of noise in all possible ways when you are connecting 100% to the server. So let's just copy paste the IP address. Why is it still white? Press enter, and what I see is 2 ports, 22 and 80, which are open. Now when you just run the nmap command, you're scanning for the 1,000 most used and common ports. So you also see that 998 of those ports are closed. The question at hand is to scan how many ports are open. The question could be answered with a number. It's 2, so I'm going to submit the number. What is the smallest of those ports? I'm pretty sure it was 22. Let's see. Yes, and 22 is the port commonly used and I guess mostly used for SSH tunnel, which is a secure socket handler. Let's go and submit that. Alright, so port 22, secure socket shell, the secure shell, how are you gonna say it? Whoops. The next question would be, what is the service related to the highest port number you can find? You found the first question. So we got the highest port is 80, and when you're using the internet, port number from 1 to 1,023 is what is called reserved ports. So if we go to Google and just say like reserved ports list, you should probably get something from Wikipedia. Yeah, why not? And then you can actually scroll down a bit and see all the different ports. What are they commonly used for? So you say like 80, you just type 80, which is commonly used for the HTTP protocol or the hypertext transfer protocol. So when you get the question, what is that number, which is the highest number, I would write HTTP. You will also get that answer from the scan, since the service is telling you this is just a HTTP service. However, we haven't ran any Nmap scans trying to enumerate the actual versions or what is running on the port 80. However, I would say it's very uncommon to have something different than HTTP server running on port 80. So let's see. Now we're going to run a SS. Did you get the same result? Yes or no? So let's just go ahead and write, well, just like this, SS. And we need to provide sudo in front, which is asking us to provide the password for the Linux root user. And we did get the same result. We got 2 ports open. It is still SSH and it's still the HTTP service, which is our web server on the host. So result would be Y for a yes. Now let's look at the next question, which would be, if you want Nmap to detect the version info of the services installed, you need to use the -s capitalized V, which is a service and version enumeration, which is the version, or what is the version of the web server. So basically we just need to run the Nmap scan again. I'm going to clear the screen, if I can totally type that, which is difficult, I guess. So I'm gonna replace the 1 with a V, and then just, we can do sudo privilege again, no problem. But wait just a few moments, and you notice this takes a bit longer than just the SS or the ST. So now we're seeing that we're running OpenSSH version 8.2.1 on an Ubuntu server, and we're running the Apache HTTP version 2.4.49. So I'm going to copy this just a few times because we know how it is when copy pasting. Paste that in and submit it. By checking the vulnerabilities related to the installed web server, you learn that there is a critical vulnerability that allows path traversal and remote code execution. Now you can tell McSkitty that Grinch Enterprises used this vulnerability. What is the CVE number of the vulnerability that was solved in version 2.4.1? 2.4.51. Alright, so when you're looking up the CVE or common weakness enumeration, I think we can click this link here. It's not a link. We need to, I think we can click this link they provided to us and just go and search and search and search, and kind of just in the top here we see that they're very kind to us to supply the documentation fixed in Apache HTTP server 2.4.51 and we get this incomplete fix. So I would say that this is the actual vulnerability number, so I'm going to copy it and only do it one time, because now we are learning to copy paste, and supply that as the answer. And this was not correct. So what do they want? What is the CV number of vulnerability that was solved? And alright, so let's go have a look again and see. Oh yeah, we have one here and one here, so that is the actual version, which is in parentheses. Let's just assume this is the right answer, and it was. So let's scroll down again and say you are putting in pieces to piece together and have a good idea of how the web server was exploited. McSkitty is suspicious that the attacker might have installed the backdoor. She asked you to check if there's any services listening on an uncommon port outside the 1,000 common ports that Nmap scans by default. She explains that adding this number, so basically saying that all ports, and there are 65,535 different ports on all computers that can potentially be open, or we can just do -p-. So let's see what happens when we do stuff like this. So I'm going to write nmap -p-, press enter, and now we're running a full scan on all possible open ports there is. Now we can see that they asked for 5 stars, so it's probably a really high number that is open on the server. This nmap scan can take a while, and we were lucky it didn't. But there is something listening on port 20,212. I'm going to copy that and paste that in as my answer, and that was correct. So now we need to discover what is the name of the program listening on the newly discovered port. So basically we need to do a version enumeration scan. So we could do something like, we could supply what we learned already, just SV, and press enter, and we would then again scan all ports and try to enumerate the version. Of course, in this particular case, I would probably go to the documentation of Nmap and just scan this one only port and do the S version enumeration scan on that port to only do less time. So we got the answer back. It's Linux telnet. Let's see what how long the answer they want. What is the name of the program? The name of the program is telnet td. So let me just copy that. And how did I know that was the right answer? Well, name of the program is Linux is the operating system, so that's definitely not the answer, but it's a telnet version for Linux, and it's very common for Linux software to put a D behind, so you have an HTTP D server, like a telnet D and so on. So that's the way that I knew that. Okay, if you would like to learn more about topics covered in today's task, we recommend you checking out the network security modules. I'm going to complete the answer, and this concludes this room. Let me just see if I got it completed in the top. Yes, it is green. So basically today was an Nmap scanning day. Learn how to use Nmap. So if you like my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'm going to get back to you. Until next time, bye.